All right, so we flipped and fixed our rover as much as we can. We are still missing an antenna, thrusters, and all that stuff. But this is what we were trying to climb the other day. And I could clearly see that was a mistake. But we have a solution.
Because problems disappear when Pioneer Space Gear is here.
What we really need is some thrusters going downwards. That's going to give us a little bit more grip to climb and ascend up that mountain. We also need to do wheel dampenings as well. Which wheel dampenings is basically soft suspension versus hard suspension. Or let's just say sports car versus your luxury vehicles. 0 and 1. So climbing up, I would think we need top dampenings. We'll see. And then stiffness was the kind of like how much your suspension can hold in terms of weight. And it looks like we might have to increase it just slightly because of how much we're weighing. And instead of being able to type this to be 1.00 or whatever, go to 0 and then hit the arrow. That was the easiest way to do it. So that's a little bit of the tips there. But now we have downward thrust, so we could make it go down and get a little more grippy, because that is what we needed. So we can continue on and try to ascend the crazy mountain once again, and hopefully we can make it thus far. This was a nice little camping spot for the time being while we wait for the day to come. But it is time to proceed onwards to better things. And that is to get to Valles Reach as much as we can. May also need a thruster or two going forwards just to pick up some speed, a little bit of speed. I think that would be great. I guess we could do 2. I don't want to do 2-2. Yeah, let's just do that. 2-2 for now. Okay, and we should probably get some backward thrust too, but we can wait for that. And now we should pick up more speed. We are going to kill our batteries. And again, we forgot our... what's it may call it too? Solar panels. Could definitely use bigger wheels as well. But look at that incline. That is steep. 40 or so was before. 40 degrees right there incline. Now we're at 35, 36, 37. And it's doing well. Which is perfect. Now, next challenge. Almost a flat upwards motion here. That is close to 60. It was 55-ish. And we are doing really, really well now. So this is the way to go. For sure. Okay, we gotta pick our spot here. Left or right? I would think right here is like a 55er. That is straight up 50s. No, it's a 50. Okay, that's more than doable. And we come to a point where we find a nice little rock here too. All right, we got a lot to climb. That is insane. Okay, let's see if I can get up to this point here and see what we're dealing with. Yikes. Yikes. This is working out pretty well though. The grippiness of the downward thrusters definitely helps a lot. But where am I getting myself into here? All right, so we should continue on. We're trying to head there. Valles Reach, which is quite the long journey. I really don't think I could climb that. That looks a bit insane. Certainly try. Actually, no, that kind of looks like it works if we stick a little bit diagonal, just a tad. I am a little worried about it, but it's worth a shot. Okay, we know we can climb a 50-degree angle, so that's a good thing. I don't know how steep these are, but we're gonna figure that out soon. It looks like it's doable straight up right here. It really does, but I have my doubts. That's a straight incline, isn't it? Yeah, that's a flippy over incline. 64. We're leaning. Ooh, No, 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 no. And let's try this again, but this time, maybe not the steepest hill. Well, that actually isn't that bad looking though. I think it's possible we get enough speed. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, this is impossible. There's no way I could get through that, is there? And if I'm gonna drill, it's gonna be quite a drilling session. Okay, I don't know about this. I don't want to turn back around either because we've gone so far. I mean, we could do something really, really wacky. Don't know if it's gonna work, but possible. Okay, do we drill a hole or do we attempt this incline here? Or should I press downward thrust a little bit more while I'm climbing? All right, downward thrust while I'm climbing. Okay, that did the trick actually. That was much better than I thought. We are gliding through this mountain. What in the world? This is a little bit unexpected, but it worked. Look at that. We made it across the craziness of that incline. There's no way that worked out like that, but it did. So awesome. So now we're gonna keep proceeding on, and we don't really need the thrusters, but we'll keep them on for now. It is gonna kill our power though. That's another main thing we should have some concerns about. Do we need to control the wheel suspensions dampening is another question. If we did, then we just gotta throw in more commands here, which is gonna be set dampening to, I think we had it at like, what we had it at before? Like a 30s, 40s? Very soft suspension. Let's put 0.3 for now. And then we'll throw in another action here to say dampen all the way whenever we need it. Potentially. So in comparison, right, if we did a very soft 0.3 dampening, you see how much the wheel just kind of pops up and down, which is great for like really rough terrain in a way. So you have that softer suspension, a luxury feel kind of thing. We got some nice flat spots here. I might start upgrading my weapons. What weapons? My tools and other types of production relatively soon, because we're gonna need. Ooh, this is where it gets bouncy, as you see there. So like if we went through that all over again with higher dampening, we wouldn't be bouncing as much. It should be a lot stiffer in suspension in that case. Much smoother ride. Right there, it's like it just smacked the crap out of that rock. I don't know if I like that for sure, but should be alright. You know what we're missing? The ore detector that would help us find any materials up here that might be even worth gathering. So that is something we definitely need to put back. And of course, we are missing stuff to do that, which is wires. So this is not great, but we'll just keep moving around a little bit. Hey, you know what? Something spawned. I didn't realize that. We have an unknown signal on our hands. Large outpost, 3 away. I wish I had a camera or something so I could see a little bit further in. 3 away would be right over there or around that mountain. Okay, I think we're gonna basically trek over there if anything. Okay, now the problem is we may need some thrusters to stop us going too fast. Potentially. I mean, it's not completely necessary, but I think it would be a good idea to have maybe 1 or 2 thrusters to really help us stop, if anything. I'm just gonna throw them right over here. Yeah, let's do 3 for now. Should be okay. All right, this rover is becoming basically a ship sooner or later with all these thrusters, but we're gonna ignore that really quick and we're gonna head over this way. I think I saw a nice little pathway here. And no, I do not hate trees. They're just kind of in my way. Sorry for anyone who loves these virtual trees. I don't intend to do this for very long. Imagine launching off of that peninsula right over there, or whatever that's called. Not really peninsula, but that would be interesting. I mean, I could land this if I went upside down, to be honest, or if I put bigger wheels. That's also a possibility. I might need downward thrust, because I could just hug on there. Oh, that's grippy. Ah, that's the way to do it, huh? Just downward thrust our way there. Get a little bit. Ooh! Did that just... No. I thought I just wrecked the whole entire like left side of the rover. What if I did an override instead of holding it? I think that might help out the grippiness. Yeah, I think that would be a probably smart idea. Maybe like a 50, 60... Let's say 60 for now of a downward thrust. Because I've hit back to brake. Yeah, it actually holds pretty well. That was the background though, but say it would hold pretty well here. Oh, it is not. It is not. But I can always press more, I think, to stop it. I'm going sideways. That's not great. Ooh, no. No. We do not want to flip that way. We do not. Okay. Relax. We're gonna up that a little bit more. We're gonna travel backwards, I guess. Yikes. That's a pit. We don't want to go on the pit. I don't even know why I'm driving backwards for this. It just seems to be the better way. Or not. Just trying to reevaluate my life here. I think it is... Yikes. That... I don't know if it's on the mountain or around it. I really don't know. Okay, that's not a good spot for sure. Okay, I think this would be fine. Right here. I do have my front thrusters off. That's... I mean... We don't need it. Oh, no. I hit the wrong button again. All right, here we go. Slide. That's fine. If you slide a little bit, it's fine. I'm not going to be mad about that. I just want to flip over again and again, which is the biggest problem. I think I see it. Nice little base, right? No, I'm seeing mountains. It might be around, but that's the course we're going for. We're 87.35 to Valles Reach now. That's not the way to go. We're just traversing every little thing that we can before we make it to Valles Reach, which is kind of the main goal. Maybe a sub goal. The main goal is to just make a big old mobile base. Yikes, I am sideways. This is insane. Alright, but let's just do it. I think we do this. We can do this. Slide. We do slide. Okay. Let's turn back around. Get ourselves situated. And we are pretty decent here. Alright, so instead of putting thrusters, we could have just added more weight on top, maybe. Alright, we are safe. No more whining about our directions and so forth. But yeah, that thing might... No! Yes! I don't know how that happened, but okay. It's too much trees. Gonna have to make bigger wheels so I just like get higher. And seriously, is that on the mountain or on the side of the mountain or over the mountain or so? I mean, we could definitely climb it, but yeah, we're just sliding everywhere. This is crazy. Ow! All right, we are 500 or so away here. If there's weapons, we're gonna get shot at. So oh wow, that is a cool looking base. That's a huge base, but this is a huge mountain also. So What am I doing? I'm gonna have to slide over again, maybe. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna get some trees to brace our fall a little bit. There we go. Pull that trees out of the way. Excuse me, trees. Sorry. Really didn't mean to do that. And we are gonna be underneath it. Ooh. Alright, should we hide underneath it and make sure there's no weapons? That's the big thing that we need to deal with. I don't think I see it. It's a rock home. It's my dream home. There's no way. It really is basically what I wanted to build, but not necessarily on top, but inside the rock itself. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Okay, let's see if we get some wires, we get some ore detectors running. I'm just gonna put all this away so we can go and do that. Oh, there is copper. Ah, 52 away. Not even bad at all. We are getting there. We were first barely surviving and flipping ourselves over, and now we're gonna end up thriving. And I'm not seeing any turrets, so I think we're okay. There seems to be some kind of secret entrance here. Ooh, there's more. I guess this is a nice little thing here. Good little landing pad. That'd be awesome. All right, let's go explore this station. What was it called again? This was the... Not Valley's Reach. This was a large outpost. So we're going to check out the smaller sections first. And once again, I do need to put a solar panel on the freaking rover. Anybody home? Gear forge. Nice. Batteries. Even better. 100% batteries. Even better. Definitely use the gear forge. We can use the showers and toilet, I guess. And we got wires. Exactly where we need it. Perfect. Free stuff. Free upgrades. Here's the gear forge. And we could, I think, go ahead and gear forge our tools right now if we wanted to. And of course, we want the area welder sooner or later. So gold threads and platinum electrodes. If we can get that, we have that. We just need the golden stuff. All right, let's go to this little hut. What's here? Is this like a medical room? There's another gear forge. It is a farm. And it's got wind in here when the glass is secured. Well, maybe because I left the door open, right? Give or take. No, that's not the case. Ooh, what's this? Homesick. We got some story. Some lore. We could take down this whole entire base a little bit, potentially. We can't build on it because there's always a restriction on that to build on top of existing things. So if I wanted to build here, you won't be able to. Unauthorized action, not mine. So that's the problem there. Nice. Chrome coating, motherboards. Yes. Not the electroid that I was looking for. But like I said, if there's an assembler here somewhere, or maybe a refinery or some sort, can help us out a little bit. We were in here before? No, we weren't. Look at this. Even more ore. This is crazy. I'm pretty sure we can find something that's gonna give us what we need. Nope. Oh. Ooh. That's one. I don't know how many we needed, but that's definitely a good start. Can we produce it? I hope so. Oh, we got the area welder so fast. Ooh, nice and shiny. Yes. Yes, now my 2-bar situation is going to get a little messy because either I put it on 1 or not, or maybe I put on 2-bar 2 or 3 or something like that. I want to keep all the blocks here. That's how I normally do this. But yes, an area welder. It's mine. Do I want to bring this up here to design it? Probably a good idea. I got a nice little spot here, but then once I make it too big, how am I gonna bring it back down is the biggest question, right? I'm just probably grab all the steel plates that we can. Good enough. And we'll just do a big ramp section here. Or do we do stairs? Stairs might be a good ramp, right? These guys right here. Right? Oh, wait. I don't have permission to do this. Okay, so, I mean, there's a way around it. Even if we left a little bit of a gap, I'll be okay with that. Is that good? All right. Yes. That could actually work. Wasn't expecting that to do it, but that definitely can work. All right. Now I can add the stairs. There we go. Here we go. All right. That hits the floor. Perfect. Perfect little ramp. That kind of works out. So the area welder is going to help us weld all this, but it's going to also weld this piece, which I kind of didn't really want. Did I not grab the area welder? Oh, no. I threw it. I think I threw it in the rover. Rover, where's my area welder? Here we go. Area weld away. Ooh, that's a little much. Come on, yes. Look at the area weld. The area weld. Awesome. This is awesome. I'm gonna get these all blocks stabled because I don't want it to fall. All right. We've got a ramp all situated, kind of. It's not fully built, but left the framing a little bit for now. It just has probably like one or two, a little bit more steel plates on each one, but it may break if I were to utilize it. So let me try to fill this up a little bit more. And of course, we are out of iron, out of steel plate more than anything else. Ow. Looks like I need a charge. We still got cobalt. I think there was copper around. Oh, do we have the wires again this time around so we can weld up? We should have got the wires, I think. Yes, we have wires. Now we can get our screen filled up with ores, nickel, cobalt, silicon, copper. Nice. Not what we specifically need, but good enough. At least we now can make it up this thing here. And we can work on a bigger rover for our mobile base. Or we continue to use this one to start drilling. It's a possibility that we could use this rover to drill. This is working. All right, little gap there. That's perfectly fine. And we could park this sucker right over here. I mean, do we want to back it up so I can utilize the cargo container port in the back? This is going to be sketchy to do. I should just back it up in a ramp. And, ooh, okay. There's a little bit of a stuck situation where I'm turning like this. I get stuck. And that's probably because the way I built thinking rover. Ooh, we need to reduce our speed here. All right, we could back this up. We should have just drove it all in there, to be honest. But yeah, I'll leave it right there. Why not? We should really color this thing too, but left it gray. So we looted everything that we can on the outside. We emptied out the warehouse here. Basically, we kind of didn't need it. I mean, we could park out over near. That'd be fun. But I don't think that's gonna be completely necessary. There's a battery here which we swap out. And this goes into like an antenna array here, which is pretty cool. So I'll just grab that and swap out that one singular battery that we have. It's not great. And that should give us 100% battery. Nice. That's all we needed. And then we just plug the rest back in and it'll just charge up when it needs to. I feel like maybe I should just scrap this whole entire base. I mean, this thing doesn't need to be here. The only problem, that's going to take a while. Actually, you know what? It won't. Why would it take a while? I just got to slap on a nice little grinder here and start grinding everything down. That's going to be quite a feat, to be honest. And we get some materials to do that from here. Yeah, I think we do that for sure. And we may need to put a smelter. And there we go. Smelter. Oh, I should kind of connect them to the ports. That's fine. But anyway, the smelter is more for producing these things that we may or may not need later down the line anyways. So we'll keep this for now. We'll tack on an assembler later down the line. All right, so at least we made it to this glorious unknown signal and got good amounts of materials out of it, and we'll get more. But we are also 85.9 kilometers away. We started at 90, what, 92? Long way to go.
All right, so Pioneer space gear. signing off.